All right, we are officially live on all platforms. Hello, 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 incredible greetings. Incredible greetings, everybody. How you doing? Hello, hello, hello. So it's live. It's not really like, I don't know. It's always so weird when you go live, especially when you did not schedule it to where you have people like waiting for it and you just randomly go live. It's like weird to kind of just get into it because technically you're talking to no one. So if you're watching the replay of this, yes, every time I do random lives, which most times they are, and I don't schedule them out because I have a whole lot going on. So even when I block out the time, it's really hard to stick to it because things will happen. So this is a random live. So yes, you have to listen to a little mumbo jumbo babble, a little babbling, a little dead air, if you will, while we wait for the algorithm to do its thug dizzle and get people on the live. All right. So how y'all doing? What it do? Drop a hey, how you doing in the comment section. That will help boost this when we get the folk on sooner than later. Okay. So y'all go ahead and do your thing and let's get it popping in here. Let's get it. I know it's getting started. Uh-oh, hold on. Okay, there we go. I had to mute that real quick. I know the song says let's get it started in here, baby. That's the Professor remix, okay? Let's get it popping. It's Friday. Okay, wait. Only because it just matches, okay? Don't 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 crucify me. Don't counsel me, okay? It's Friday. You ain't got no orders and you ain't got anything else to do. Is it how? Wait, that's the order. Wait, it's Friday. You ain't got no job and you ain't got anything else to do. Yeah, it's Friday. You ain't got no orders and you ain't got nothing to do. So you might as well stick around on this live and let me learn you something on today. Okay? Okay. 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 I'm probably gonna repeat that again when people come on because that low key ate. That high key ate, not low key. That high key ate. So yeah, I'm probably gonna say that again. So if you're watching the replay of this, no, it didn't like jump, it didn't skip around. I'm letting you know that line is going to come up again because yeah, that kind of ate. That kind of ate. Someone was like, I made a post over on the Book of the Face, and somebody was like, "Oh, you woke up and chose violence." I say, "Call me Crafty Krueger." Okay, it's Friday the 13th. Hey, why not? It's gonna be scary in these craft streets, so I'm gonna go ahead and be Crafty Krueger today. Okay, I'm gonna scare some folk when it comes to their craft. All right. Um. So let's just go share. And then let's do this again and hit. Oh, wait a minute. Where is it? Okay, let's hit share and then to a group. And 1, 2, 3. I don't know if they'll let me go live, but we'll see. Okay, we'll go there. And it is Friday the 13th in these scary craft streets. Can you tell me how to get to Crafty Street? Sunny day, sweeping the glue away. On my way to where the heat press is hot. Can you tell me how to get to Crafty Street? That would 8 too. That would 8 too. Yes. Clock it. That was actually funny. All right. So, hello, incredible greetings once again, everyone. Let me go ahead so I can see comments over here. Okay, so hopefully, yeah, I'll be able to see them when they pop up. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Give this video a thumbs up. Drop a hey, how you doing as you guys come in. All right. Hey, thank you so much for hopping on. Welcome in. How you doing? I thank you for leaving your comment. That definitely helps boost the algorithm and get people on. So welcome. All right, so let's get into it. If you don't know who I am Shakia, the professor of HS Inc. 365. We are the home of Honestly Speaking brand products, which is Salvation ink, Salvation paper, Pigment ink, and some other like heat tape. We have the best heat tape. Our yellow, we have the amber heat tape, but it does not stain, it does not mark. I made sure of that when I was researching, and I got the best of the best of the best of the best, so it does not stain and mark like some of these other brands. So yeah, go definitely go check that out. 365 Creative Academy is where we help you unlock your creativity. And I'm a little perturbed. Now, this goes back a really long time, okay? Before the chats of the GPT-ish and them using phrases like unlock this, unlock that. Baby, we have been unlock your creativity for many a years, okay? So that is not chat GPT, okay? That was not GPT. I have had unlock your creativity. I have literally said that in my content for forever and a day. I'm not changing. Somebody gonna tell me some oh, that sounds very AI-ish. I don't care. You know how long I've been saying, and because now AI wants to go and tell people everything is unlock this, unlock that, I'm supposed to change mine. Not gonna happen, Captain, because it's always been. Until next time, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity and be incredible. Like that's literally been the saying for how many years now. So no, I'm not changing it. Chat don't run nothing around here. But anywho, 365 Creative Academy will be help you to unlock your creativity in a wide variety of trainings. Any and everything that you need, okay? Everything that you want to learn. Over the past 11 years, I have taught it in excellence, okay? From a beginner standpoint, all the way up to a more seasoned, advanced standpoint. I have this innate ability to break down things and make them less intimidating, less overwhelming. It's a lot of information. The amount of information and the amount of things that you have to learn to be successful in this creative space, in this craft space. It's a lot of layers to it. There's all of the layers to the creative part. There's all of the layers to the business part. And if you take out a small portion of that and you put it and you reference like all of like the marketing and promo and there's layers on top of layers on top of layers. If you are looking for entrepreneurship to be easy, I need you to exit stage left because it is going to be overwhelming. There are a lot of layers to it. It's not a wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. There's ways to kind of sort of speed up the process when you are made aware of potential mistakes or you are enlightened about ways to become more efficient. You can shorten that learning gap. You can make that learning curve a little less steep, but you're going to have to go like it's still a lot of things. There's always going to be something new to learn. You should actually be seeking the new things to learn on this journey. That to me is one of the biggest issues. Not wanting to be uncomfortable in that figuring it out stage, that learning it. It's like you want this magic wand. Like you want for the old schools. I don't even think you know what? I'm gonna ask Zion Imani. Does he know who Jack is? Does he know about Jack's beanstalk? I'm gonna ask Zion Imani because I don't even know if they really tell that fable. And that's the story like they read to them about Jack and the beanstalk and having these magic beans and just wanting to get to the top so much fat. We don't have a magic bean when it comes to this. I was in my creative business training last night, and we were talking about taxes, and we were talking about the fact that most people don't know that when you start a business. And so here's y'all first gem. I'm going to get right into it. Here is that. It's going to be that first gem. And I need to know if you knew this or not. Okay. The number is going to be 1 if you knew, 2 if you didn't. Okay. 1 if you knew this, 2 if you did not. Okay. You want to know? Here it is. Did you know that you can have up to 3 non-profitable years on paper, I'm going to say, when it comes to the IRS and it comes to your taxes? Because when it comes to new startup businesses, it's going to be a while before you turn a profit. See, most of you guys want to turn a profit day one, but even the government knows that you're going to take losses as you figure it out. Did you know when it comes to doing your taxes for your business that you can take the first 3 years, they can be at a loss? 1 if you knew it, 2 if you did not know it. You just turned your taxes over to somebody and said, hey, I started a business. And you don't even know where these numbers come from. How many of you purchased printers when you first started out? You got you a little 15,000, you got you a little 8550, you got you all these like printers, you got all this paper and glue sticks, you got all this foam board that you were trying out from the Dollar Tree. And guess what? Guess what y'all did? Guess what y'all didn't do? Not a nary a purchase went on them dang on taxes. You went out and you got the website, you got the Etsy. So Etsy's going to send you that 1099 because Etsy's going to let Uncle Sam know, hey, yeah, we made some coins, but hey, all them coins ain't stay here. Don't tax me on these coins, okay? Go after homegirl, homeboy over there. This money was sent to them. They need to account for the taxes for these. So you rushed out, you got that Etsy site, you rushed out, you got that stand store, you got that pay hip, you got all these things where, baby, they gonna report that income, okay? Because y'all want it to be everybody telling you, I'm not, okay. So there's a difference in having a website and having an e-commerce site. You can definitely have a website where people know who you are. It is brand awareness, but you can have systems in place where you might be, dealing in some cash and things like that, where you're figuring out. Now, some people, some business coaches and gurus will say no, because you want to build business credit. That's the problem. Y'all putting the cart before the horse. Y'all already thinking about business credit and you don't have any idea how to run a business. Them folks want to know if you're getting loans, how am I gonna get my money back? You ain't even figured out how you gonna make money. You just think, oh, well, I can't afford this. I need some money to get this new printer, this machine, this, that, and the other. And you don't know the first thing about business. You don't know the first thing. People keep saying, oh, you're going to turn your passion into profit. Y'all ain't got the passion part down. You ain't first made it a hobby. You went straight into, you saw this stuff. Oh, they putting price tags on it. Let me learn it. Let me put a price tag on it too. And you went immediately. You don't know nothing about how the website work and this, that, and the third. So now when you go and there is this thing out there that says, hey, we gave you all this money. Did you tell Uncle Sam about it? You got some deductions to reduce your tax liability? No, y'all don't know all of that stuff, huh? How many of y'all went and brought all these supplies? You got glue guns, you got glue sticks, and this, that, and the third, and the other. Now, maybe when you first started, it was a hobby. You can't deduct that. But the moment you decided to make it a business, all them other purchases, once you decide to make it a business, you collecting coins from it, you got a website, baby, that stuff needed to be on your profit and loss statement. Okay? But I guarantee, and all of the craft groups and all of the information you got, all the stuff about business, all they talked about was how to promote it on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. You got to do behind the scenes. You got to show packing videos. You got to get them to know, like, and trust you to make a sale. But where was that real business information? Where was that real business knowledge? Oh, child, that wasn't my message today. My bad. I didn't mean to come at y'all so hard. My bad. How y'all doing? Good morning. Okay, so I do see a couple of tools here where you guys were not aware that you can take a loss for the first 3 years. Okay. So we are. I'm helping in some way. If nothing else, I helped a few people learn something new on today. Okay, that's my goal. Every time is to help you learn one little thing. You don't have to know it all. You don't have to know from A to Z. If I can get you where you are comfortable from A to B, from A to C, I like to say from A to D, I've done my job. I have done my job if I can help you navigate from a starting point to a point where you are better than you were yesterday. You were better than where you were 5 minutes ago. I've been on here 16 minutes. Okay. So you were better. You are more informed than you were 16 minutes ago. That is my goal. Every time I hit live, that is the goal. Every time I hit live, my goal is to make you think about what it is that you are doing. I want you to ask questions. I want you to be that inquisitive toddler that's questioning everything their parent tells them. Don't touch this. That's hot. You're going to get burned. Well, they was like, oh, don't touch that. That's hot. Why I can't touch it? You're going to get burned. Why am I going to get burned? Because it's hot. Well, going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I need for y'all to be that toddler that's asking all of the questions. It's like y'all become adults and you don't value asking questions anymore. It's like y'all are too grown to ask a question. You are embarrassed about not knowing something and you feel like, oh, I'm too grown. I should know this. I'm 30 years old. I'm 20 years old. I'm 40 years old. I'm 50 years old. I'm 80 years old. Yes, I have literally taught people who wanted to start this and they are over 80. I should know this. You're afraid to ask questions. You are embarrassed. To me, that means that you don't want growth. You're not interested in growth. Because most times I get on here and I'm like, yo, what questions do you have? Where are you struggling at? Are you afraid of the struggle? You're not teaching nobody. So no one's really like concerned with at the moment if you had to ask a question. Most of the folk out here that's teaching is teaching off of recycled information. Information that they did not know yesterday. They learned it and now they're incorporating. I see it in real time. I have literally seen it in real time. I watched somebody who was on a presentation. I've seen their presentations before. I've sat through a couple of them. Then I saw them on like within a different panel or like a part of a certain presentation and new information was presented. I went into their presentation again and guess what? That same information that somebody else said the day before, their event was literally like the next day after that. They had now started incorporating that in their messaging, in their pitch, in their webinar, in their this, in their that, like whatever you want to call it. There's a bunch of people who teach there's a bunch of people who teach with She must have put it on the what's the name. Okay. They teach information that they just learned. And I'm not saying this is a bad thing, because there's some where you wouldn't hear that information if it were not for someone who you trust, if it were not for someone who you follow, right? Because you are relying on that person to bring you new information, you wouldn't know about these things. So even those who teach, they're getting new information all the time. They're putting themselves in places to always be learning. But some of you guys, you're not putting yourself in a position to be learning. Learning does not mean that you have to apply that information and knowledge right at that moment. There is some people make you feel bad about storing information, saying you're what's the word? It's not, I don't want to say collecting, it's not hoarding, it's, oh God, I can't think of the word. I heard someone use it. It's not, I want to say corralling, but you're just gathering all of this information and you're not executing on it. You know, they'll say terms to trigger you, like slow feet don't eat, right? You got to, like, you know, it's what was, oh my God, some of the other ones about like taking action fast, and slow money don't make money, or slow feet don't what is stuff like that. And it is meant to trigger you. It is meant to make you look at your situation and find that area where you're like, oh, that's me, that's me, that's me. Oh my God, that's what marketing is. And sometimes you have to take from that, even though it feels very icky. You'll hear people say stuff and it's like the way they say it, it just makes you like cringe. But then you look at the number of people that it attracts, like you start to realize like you got to mix a little bit of that in there. But they'll say things like that about, oh, you're not taking action, you're not executing, this is why you're in this position. No, sometimes it is because you are moving too fast. You're trying to apply every piece of information when it doesn't apply to you, when you don't have the capacity to apply every single bit of information. But y'all allow people to convict you and make you feel like you're doing something wrong if you don't hang on to their every word and don't follow every single move. But your life doesn't mirror their life. Your situation doesn't mirror their situation. Your business is different from theirs. Your home life is different from theirs. You got to learn how to, what does it say? Eat the meat, spit out the bones. But don't just spit out the bones, because baby, bone broth is a thing. There's some things that the parts that's left over, the parts that you trim away, there's some delicious meals that can be made from that. You just got to know how to preserve it and then how to use it. But you got to work within your capacity. That was the thing that we taught last night in creative business, is understanding what your capacity is so that you can price properly, you can market properly, you can avoid burnout, and you can avoid the unnecessary overwhelm. Overwhelm will come in entrepreneurship. It is a given. There is no way around it. It is a given. But there is a healthy way to navigate through that overwhelm. I would like to be able to teach information from what I've tested and implemented, but I still need to really get my business started. And that's good. Like, and you should want, and it's okay. Like, it's a lot of people that want to share, like they want to learn it, they want to be able to share it. And if that is your desire, go for it. Like, I'll be honest, I didn't think that I would be an instructor. I was happy, just, well, I'm gonna say I was happy, but it was a bit, I don't want to use the word lonely, but when I started, it's like I had been doing all these things for many, many years to myself, not showing anybody, and then becoming a stay-at-home mom, it changed things for me. So I was able to do these things, but I was still working jobs. I was still interacting with people. Like I never really like thought like it was just second nature to me. But once I had to slow down my life, I wasn't really interacting with a lot of adult human beings. I was interacting with a toddler day in and day out. Baby, it got frustrating. By the time we moved into this house, I was like, I'm so tired of looking at MJ face because he didn't go to preschool and daycare and all that stuff. He stayed home with mommy, okay? And I needed adult interaction. And that is how I got to this point where I really started to share the things and I started to answer questions when people asked me this, 10 years ago is how I got into this teaching space. So this teaching thing found me. I was happy and content with just coordinating and decorating and DIY by a professional in my event business, in my creations business. Okay. But I want to kind of share some things. I would love to be able to answer questions. If you have questions, I want to see them in the comment section. I want to see the questions. I thrive off of questions, okay? I thrive off of answering your questions and helping you get clarity. Y'all see what my banner on my website is? Okay. This is where creativity, clarity, and entrepreneurship come together in anything that I offer, whether it's a free live video, if it is a class, if it is supplies, such as our summation paper and ink, creativity, clarity is going to come together. Now, to know me over the past few years is to know about, okay, let's see who knows me. What's a cuss word to me? What is my number one curse word? It's a bad word in my book, or I'm gonna say it was. What was that? What is that bad word? If you've been rocking with me for a while, you've been on these trainings, these mini classes, you've been in actual paid classes. What is that dirty word in my book? It's just nasty. It's just dirty. What is that word? Or words? Let's see. Who knows your girl? Who knows your girl? I don't really talk about the gatekeeping. That's not a really dirty word for me. It's something that's really I throw up in my mouth a little bit every time I have to say these words together. It's not gatekeeping. Oh, I'm feeling like y'all don't know. Wait, where my people at that know me? Oh my gosh, seriously? Seriously. So none of my day ones, my day twos, my day fives, none of y'all on here to know what's that bad word in my book. Oh, come on. Or y'all just being shy. See, y'all love this word, especially when it comes to business and the type of business, but I can't stand it. That's a hint. I can't believe you're gonna try. Okay, what is it? Try. Go ahead. Try it out. Try it out, Miss J. What is the bad word? What's the dirty word in my world? Or dirty words, dirty phrases. No, not like no. She says, "Oh fudge." There go my people. I'm like, well, damn, where y'all at? Where y'all at? Craft business, craft. Oh my! I was like, wait a minute, where my people? Where my people? Where my people? Y'all know it makes my skin crawl to call it a craft business. It makes my skin crawl. I'm saying it did. There we go. There we go. Crafting. Okay. Once you cross over in the fact that you want to monetize this, oh, the way it makes my skin crawl. I throw up in my mouth every time I had to say, oh, craft business. Like, ew, ew. That's just disgusting. It's a bad word. Y'all should. I want to wash my mouth out with soap. I want to wash y'all mouths out with soap because it's a bad word. I don't understand why we're using that. Because if you're making shirts in one of the 12 methods to decorate apparel, to decorate garments, there are companies that are doing the same thing that you're doing. You are putting a price tag to it. Are they calling that crafting? Is their business a craft business? Is Nike a craft business? Is the fact that who them people is Stanley Cup, they now have all these nice little prints and stuff like that. Are they a craft business? Is it Custom Ink? Are they a craft business? They go and they'll make things for you. They'll put designs on cups. They'll make promotional items like pins and stuff like that. They're gonna like all these banner are there. Is that a craft business? Is the photo section in y'all favorite place to get your prints? CVS, Walgreens, that photo section where y'all can get these banners. They got some of the same printers that some of y'all have. Some of y'all got is the section in CVS and in Walgreens, is that the craft section? Oh, why people got to treat craft businesses like this? Because you calling yourself a craft business. That's why. But I have been delivered, okay? I have been delivered from, oh God, being so afraid of the craft word, okay? I have been delivered. So I have now embraced the word craft. I really have. I have embraced the word craft. I can now say it where it's going to get people's attention, but it doesn't make me gag. Okay. So let's see here. Y'all ready? Are you ready to craft with me? Are you ready to create revenue around focused talent? Oh, let's go ahead and repeat that. Okay, let's go ahead and repeat that. Are you ready to craft with me? Are you ready to create revenue around focused talent? Now, I actually do have a couple different versions of this, but we're gonna use this one today. You'll eventually see the other ones because that R and that F are kind of interchangeable. I can't wait to show y'all the rest. But I had to go into my absolutely psychotic crazy, which is why I like I'm gonna break this down for y'all. Okay, like I'm going to literally break this down for y'all. I in doing this and setting this up, I intentionally chose to use like when you're cutting up letters and stuff out of a magazine, you know, the stuff that crazy stalkerish psychopaths like that they use, you know. I know the new kid, like they don't really know that, but like back in the day, it's like that's how you wanted to scare somebody. You took some letters and you left them a message with a bunch of letters clipped out from magazines and newspapers. It's a little it's a little crazy. So this was intentional in how I set this up. Because at first I was gonna go, I'm probably still gonna kind of put it out, maybe like just to kind of soften it. I was going with more of like a comic book feel. Ransom note. There we go. I knew my brain was going. Ransom note, right? So I was like, I was gonna go with like this comic thing because I found it to be funny that Shakia is actually embracing um what's this thing called? The craft word. So I was gonna make it more comic book style, but I was like, you know what? No. Okay. I like, yeah, I want it's a ransom note. Okay. All right. So she says, no, they are a business. I say that I am a creative entrepreneur. I like that. Okay. You have certain skills, you have certain talents that you can generate revenue around. You can generate revenue around it. And you don't have to call it crafts because the consumer, because I think I saw someone say something up here about B2B, B2C. Hold on, let me see. Okay, no. So this was their how can I from a business? I want to offer B2B and B2C services. So this is very interesting to me, and I get that it's a buzzword, right? I get that it's a trigger, and this is a thing that people go and they say they want to sound so intelligent, and they want you to know that they know what they're talking about, and they're trying to break it down in a way where you're like, oh my god, that is so true. Oh, that is why I'm not making da 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 da. Let's go and look up. Oh, wait. Okay. Um, let's see here. Now, when I looked it up before, this was actually the first thing that came up. Now, this one they say for personal. I had a whole little chat. I had a whole discussion with Chat GPT. And maybe Chat gave me my definition based off of the things. Oh, if you didn't know that about AI, so sidebar. AI feeds you information based off of what you have fed it. If you were like, all men, because someone just said this, she got slammed in the comments. What's her name? Nosy Bystander, where she was like, oh, there's no good man, all men are toxic, right? So if you're having these conversations and you're like, all men are dogs, all men are toxic, I hate life, these people agitate my soul, and blah 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 blah, oh my god, I'm going crazy, I just don't get it, people don't understand me. When you go and you ask Chat questions, it is going to give you responses based off of what you have inputted. If somebody else were to go and ask them the exact same question, like to put in the exact same prompt, it is going to give them something different, which is why if you ever go to an AI like webinar and things of that nature, and they give a prompt, they tell people to put it in, and like, hey, what did yours tell you? It's going to give you something totally, totally, totally different every single time, because it is based off of what you have inputted, what it's drawing from its memory of all of your different chats, or what you have stored in the memory, what it knows about you. Now, if you go and you do it where it's like just fresh eyes, it's from a fresh account, there's no real reference point, it gives you something different. So maybe mine gave me a little bit different. And I would go to my chat thread, but baby, the way I be on chat, kind of having this dialogue, it'll take me so long to kind of get to it. But this does say a person who purchases goods and services for personal use is a consumer. Okay. But then the second one says a person or thing that eats or uses something. And then the other one, it don't even really matter, right? So how can I put it? For me personally, I'll just put it this way. For me personally, I guess, and like I said, it's also because of how I have positioned in my chat. I get that there is a big difference between selling from business to business, B2B, B2C, business to consumer, right? But businesses are are, I guess, okay, because they may not use it. Like, I like the end product user, but I guess for acronyms, it doesn't work well to say it that way, because businesses will use something and they will consume it, or they're going to maybe reuse it for business. People will say business to business. And okay, I'll be honest. So for me, how I see it in my world, I can see in other industries how that will work. I see so many people, especially when it comes to digital products. I'm not gonna lie. If I show y'all my chat, it's gonna be like, yo, to me, B2C might as well be a business to crafter. I'm not gonna, hey, I'm gonna keep it real with you. That is the conversation that I had with my chat. Like, it was aggravating me because I'm like, they'll say it's B2B, like, okay, sell this digital product to another, like another business, but they're really talking about a crafter who thinks like a consumer and thinks like a crafter. Because remember, when I first started, I said most of you don't even know, when it comes to business, you need to be taking advantage of the tax code, and you need to be able to take an advantage. You need to take advantage of your deductions. You don't even know that you can actually be non, like, on paper for IRS purposes, so you don't owe money, where your business can take a loss. You don't have to be profitable. They give you 3 years to get your ish together. There's so many people where you're buying supplies and you are using them. You are consuming them. You are not putting them in your business statements. You're not putting them on your profit. Like, you're not, it's not calculated in your profit and loss. You're not putting it on your taxes. You're going and you're just like, oh, I need this. You're not doing it from a business card. It's still coming from your personal card. You're not separating anything out. So when you're buying these digital files, when you're buying these, if somebody was to go and sell, like me, the best summation paper and ink, are you really selling it to business? My husband used to always say, man, these ain't no business people. They around here ordering one pack of paper. Like, how does a business survive ordering one pack of paper at a time? They go and it's like, it'll be weeks and weeks and weeks before they order again. Oh, even used to hate it. And I used to say that these were businesses. Even would be like, them ain't no business folk. How can a business wait so long? How can a business operate purchasing one pack of paper at a time? And it's really we were a B2C, business to crafters. Okay. So businesses will, I guess they're not, I guess, okay. I will say that I guess wrong in what Webster or what dictionaries will say it says for personal use, right? So someone using it for personal use is consumer. It's like the end user. So there is a difference in selling to the end user and selling to someone who's going to buy something and they're going to resell it, or they're going to apply it to something else in a different way and then sell it to the end user. Like, it doesn't stop at them. It's going to leave their production facility, whether it's at home, they have a brick and mortar, and it's going to go to the end user. So that is how people like classify that. Like, they're trying to figure out, how do I sell B2B, B2C, right? The issue with it is, now I'm telling y'all, if I can go to that piece of the recording, I promise you, we literally just talked about this last night in my creative business program. And there was someone where she's like, I sell customized shirts with DTF, but I also do aprons, but I have digital products it's like faith-based ones for homeschooling. So they have lessons, but she incorporates scripture and things of that nature. And she has them under the same umbrella, under the same, the Etsy account is based off of her print shop. And then she was like, oh, I want to have a print shop. I said, okay, well, what printers are you doing? What are you printing? Like, it's meaning you're going to use these printers. You're going to create something that you're going to give to an end user, or you're going to, sell that to a business who then will use that in some type of way. So if your business is not just straight printing, you don't have a print shop. So we have to define our business correctly. We talked about, when you are defining your business, how that affects the code that the government wants to know how your business operates. There's a bunch of codes. So we literally just talked about this last night, like I said, in the class. So someone says, I don't know where to start when it comes to my business. I DTF, sublimate, paint, draw, work with resin, and a little AI art. How can I form a business? I want to offer B2C, B2B, and B2C services. Those are two separate businesses. Do you have the capacity to set up two separate businesses? Do you have the capacity to market to two different sets of people? Because the words that you say, the content that you put out has to resonate with them both separately. They are not the same. One of the examples that I give when people want to go into digital products, there's so many people that are saying, get into digital products. You need to have a digital product, whether it's an ebook, if it's a worksheet, if it's a guide, if it's a course, if it's a mentorship. Like these are all digital products. Like if you have a coloring book, a recipe book, whatever it is, it's like create this digital product, create this digital product, create this digital product. Now, there are some industries where you can do them one and the same. Like if there's someone who is on social media, they do a lot of cooking, they cater different, like, and they're like, hey, I can't service everybody. But if you like the way that this looks on screen, if you trust the reviews that I'm posting, I'm posting all of the feedback and the reviews saying that, oh my God, this was so amazing. It was so flavorful, blah, 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 blah. And you want to be able to make this yourself. All right, cool. I can't make it for you, but here is a cookbook. That's something that can kind of work together, right? But when you are making items like a shirt, and if you are charging a design fee, you're saying, okay, well, to design this, my design fee was $25. But on that same exact website, you have that design for $2, for $1, for $3, for $5, whatever it is, that's less than the amount that you charge your client on your line item, or whenever you did your pricing, you've calculated your design fee in it. It's like, wait a minute. You told me the design fee was $25, $50. How is this same design on your website for $2? Make it make sense. You see where you can't, like, there are certain industries where you cannot mix and match that. If you are somebody that sells DTF prints, you made somebody a shirt with DTF. And so because of this process, you're like, okay, well, this shirt is X, Y, and Z. Yeah, we get that you have to press it and this, that, and the third. But you're going to go and say everything is like, in the craft world, it's times 3. That's the way that they teach you to start businesses. It'll go at least times 3, at least times 4, right? So you've made that DTF print times 4 when you sold it to the C, the consumer, right? The end user. All right. So for me, it's going to be B to EU, right? B to EU. You sold that to the end user at a certain price. Well, now you have that same design on your website and you're like, oh, you can get this for $7. Wait a minute. Hold up, homie. Now you put the design itself on here for $3. Now, if I get the print, that was only $5, $7. These shirts don't cost that much. I'm like, hell, if I go to Walmart and get a shirt, okay, that might be like a little $5 shirt. Well, damn, how much it costs for you to press this to it? You charge me $40, but you have this design on your website for $3. The print for it, because you told me, that's how you make the shirt, and I have to get the shirt, and I got to have this print. Okay, but you got the print on your website for $7. Why the math ain't mathing to me? So people will tell you add a digital component, but they skip out the part of put that ish on a separate website. Create you a new social media for it. Everything cannot be under one umbrella. So the first thing that you need to do in figuring out your business and starting it, do you have the capacity to market to B2B and B2C? because I see a little AI art. So I'm pretty sure like that probably means digital. Now, when it comes to actually doing the customized product, and I hate the fact I'm doing this because I was supposed to be showing examples and not just my camera, because I will tell you, I am still in a bonnet. Okay. My eyebrows are not arched, and I look a hot mess.com, so I'm not turning this camera on. So you're gonna have to look at this screen here. Look at my face. Look here. There we go. There we go. Now you feel like you're talking to me. When it comes to the customized items, you definitely can. But I'm going to tell you this. Your mindset has to change. When you're selling so-called B2B, B2C, you have some people that will have you to believe that businesses are willing to pay more. They're not going to haggle you on prices. Baby, that's the biggest lie ever told. Because those who are truly in business, no, we buy low to sell high. Why in the HE double hockey sticks would I buy something from you if it's to resell it and I'm paying retail for it? If I'm going to go and resell this, why would I pay retail? And now let's say you are selling something where the business becomes the end user, right? They're not going to resell it. You are going to make shirts with a logo on it, and that business owner is going to use that shirt. They are going to put it on. Even though it's for their business, it's for their person, it's for their staff. They're not charging the staff for it. They're going to purchase uniforms for them. That becomes the end user. So at that point, that business is no different than a consumer. Those are the ones, yes, you will charge them the regular price unless they are buying in volume. They're buying in what's truly bulk. Okay? Some of the stuff that y'all be asking, is it bulk? Baby, that's not bulk. That's not bulk at all. There is no discount. Then y'all discounts be too high. Let me take that off the screen. So in starting your business, you are going to have to define what type of B2B are you selling to? Is it B2B where that B is the EU? That was a whole lot of alphabet. That was like alphabet soup. Is your B in your B2B really the B to EU? End user. Is your B in the B2B ARS? Let's see your business knowledge. What do you guys think RS will stand for in that? So we're selling B to RS. What would that RS stand for? Ding, 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 ding. A reseller. Those who have their resale certificate, they are purchasing something to be able to go and resell. Selling to that type of business, or are you selling them to a business where they are the end user? You are someone that cuts vinyl. You are going to decorate, or not decorate, you're going to put their business information on their door with adhesive vinyl, whether it is cut or if it is printed. That window, that door becomes the stopping point. That window covering doesn't make them more money. It can attract people, but that is, all of the lessons from last night coming back up. That is what we call, it's a non-chargeable in that business. That is not something that's going to be a money-making purchase. They can't go and sell off pieces of their decal for their window. That business becomes the end user. So your mindset has to change in how you approach them, how you are pricing things. Because there are going to be some businesses that want what you do to be able to resell it to someone else or do certain things. So they're looking to buy low so that they can resell it higher. Make sense? Oh, I know put go ahead. Yes or yes. You've never heard business broken down this way. You've never heard it. Yes or yes. Put a 3 in the chat if you have never heard it broken down this way. Put a 4 in the chat if this is new information to you. Because I know the answer is yes. You haven't heard it broken down this way. This is why you are struggling in your business, because you have not clearly defined the type of business that you have. You don't even understand business. You do not understand buyers. You don't understand buyer psychology. Do you really think the psychology is different just because they are a business? They're still a purchaser. Whether you want to say I'm selling B to business or, business to business, business to consumer, it's still someone that is a purchaser. There are certain things that's going to go through their mind about that product, about that service, about the price that you have attached to it, about how it fits into their operation, how it fits into their life, how it fits into their business. They are going to think through that as they are listening to your offer. And you have no clarity in how to position that to them. This is the number one reason why your business is struggling. Or it's not, I'm not going to say struggling, because some of you guys call it struggle, and you don't even have no real motion. You haven't even gotten the business off the ground yet, and you're already panicking. If the government knows that any business does not turn a profit, they don't turn a profit in the first year. Let's head on over to everyone's favorite place. We can even go and ask Gemini. Okay, so let's come over here and let's ask Gemini. Okay, I don't know what happened there. So let's go over here. On average, how long does it take a new business to turn a profit? I'm going to put the same exact question over here. On average, most new businesses take about 2 to 3 years to become consistently profitable. But the real answer depends heavily on the type of business model, startup costs, and sales cycle. Here's a realistic breakdown most operators see. In a service-based business, this can be the fastest. Examples are consulting, coaching, graphic designing, freelance services. 3 to 12 months to turn a profit in many cases. Why? Because there is a lower startup cost. That's really the only reason why. You don't have to go out and buy machines. You don't have to go out and buy supplies. The most that you're going to spend money on might be information and knowledge. And, when you're in these classes and they advertise getting a return on your investment, that is where, some of that startup cost is going to be in. Some of that startup cost is going to be in marketing materials and how you're going to market your business, whether or not you're going to pay ads. Some of those startup costs will be nothing more than creating a website. It might be, paying for a designer, a graphic designer, a web designer for your website. It might be paying someone to get your logo, but your startup costs are going to be low because your startup costs are going to be low, which means that you can turn a profit a lot faster if structured the right way. So it just depends on how quickly you can acquire clients. Okay. And what is your capacity for the clients that you acquire? How many can you handle at one time to be able to turn that profit faster? Okay. They're mostly selling time, knowledge, or skill, so there's less overhead, right? Digital products and education businesses. Example, courses, templates, memberships, 6 months to 2 years typically. It's going to really teeter around that 1 to 2 year mark. Heavy upfront work creating the content, building the audience. Profit increases once systems and marketing starts compounding. Okay. You're building assets first and revenue later. So it can feel like, which I go through that all the time, the amount of time that you have to put into creating resources, creating classes, creating the digital files with no guarantee that um you're going to be compensated for the time. So there again, there's not a lot of product and like inventory type things, but your time is very valuable. Your time is a very valuable commodity in this whole business thing. So you may have to spend a lot of time where you are dedicated to this. So you cannot do other money making tasks. So it feels kind of overwhelming because you feel like I'm putting in all this work, but I'm not seeing a return on it. I don't have, like, I know I have to do these things, but I also have bills. The time that I'm putting in is not taking care of this cell phone bill. It's not making sure that these lights stay on. It's not making sure that my rent or my mortgage is paid. This is where we start to end up having side hustles to support the side hustle because it's not a business yet. It's still a side hustle. So you have to have all of these other ones. You keep saying I have a business, but you need this job because it's not making money yet because you're still researching and you're building things out. But once you have it done, the profits can go up a lot faster. Am I making sense or am I making sense? Which one? Making sense or not? When I say that, I mean like sense or sense, CENT. Okay. So a product-based business, examples, e-commerce, retailers, handmade products, physical goods, 2 to 4 years on average. Reason, inventory costs, marketing costs, equipment, shipping and logistics, lower margins initially, because most of you guys will start to, like, you will start your business off purchasing things retail and not wholesale or direct from manufacturers or buying it through a distribution channel. When you're buying it through a distribution channel or you're truly buying it wholesale, you have to spend more on that invoice. It is going to be a lot more than if you were to buy one or two of them at a lower price. But once you go and you break these things down item for item, the cost per unit, the cost per ounce, the cost per sheet, the cost per will be lower, even though you had to put up more money on the front end. So your margins might seem low starting out. This is something that we teach in pricing for profit. Some people don't have to change their pricing at all. You just have to buy your chargeable assets at a lower price. Businesses are supposed to buy low and sell higher. Okay? So, a lot of product businesses are technically cash flow positive earlier, but not truly profitable once all expenses are counted. That's a really important point. This happens, and I'm going to use this word in the traditional sense. This happens in the craft world so much. You are cash flow positive. You see the orders coming in, right? Money is coming in, but doesn't mean that you're profitable. You might just be replacing what you paid out for things. You're not truly profitable when you're first starting out. You're just cash flow positive. That's a really good point. Why you ain't come back with my answer? Oh, it's over here. Oh, okay. We're gonna come back over. I was like, why it didn't give me my answer? I could have put it over here. I don't know why. Okay. Oh, I can move it here. Oh, that was pretty cool, Gemini. Okay, that was cool. That was cute. That was cute. Okay. Brick and mortar businesses, example, restaurants, retail stores, salons, 3 to 5 years is common. High rent, payroll, utilities, insurance, etc. This is why many fail within the first 3 years. This is an important distinction that most people miss. And I promise you, it's probably going to give this based off of how I think, how I input things and the discussions that we've had. So let's see. Important distinctions most people miss. Many businesses make money before they make a profit. Example, year one, revenue was $80,000, but your expenses were $90,000. So you took a loss. Year two, revenue, hey, it's like, yo, we figured this out. We're making $150,000. There's a lot of people that y'all love to watch. There's a lot of people that boast about how much money they've made. They like to show the numbers, but you don't see the loss part. They don't really show. They just show you the positive cash flow. They don't show you that P&L. I mean, they shouldn't, but it's the whole thing of you don't know what the other side of that P&L looks like. You don't know the expenses. Yes, they made all this money, but they weren't making good business moves. So their expenses were $140,000. So all they truly made was $10,000 with all the work that they put in. Very small profit. Year three, revenue, $250,000. Now you've gotten to the groove of it. You have systems in place. You realize where to get the most bang for your buck at. So now your expenses are a little bit lower. The work that you put in heavily on marketing and branding the first 2 years, you may not have to do as much because you're working more so with a warm audience. These years, you're working with a really cold audience. You may have some repeat, which is your warm audience. You're going to have more warm and hot probably by that third year if you did everything correctly. But if you're still operating like year one, you haven't done, you're still like, oh, I want to bootstrap it. I'm not doing any marketing. Whether you are doing organic marketing, hopefully you have done some type of paid marketing, or you have leveraged other people's audiences and you're putting yourself in position where you can network and you're more visible. You become warm by default because somebody is vouching for you, compared to somebody just coming to your social media, coming to your website, coming to your Etsy. They know nothing about you. By year three, you got a little bit more motion. It's going to be a lot easier to hit those profit margins and do it with less expenses if you're doing business correctly. You have examples like Pinky Cole. And this is like no shade, but this is something that is public in her business and this evaluation of $100 million. But, they were bringing in 10 million, but their expenses were a lot higher than that. So she had to keep going and trying to raise capital, keep doing these raises for people to invest in her because she was trying to move too fast. There was positive cash flow, but the expenses were high, to where she had to buy back her business because she was basically in like a business type conservatorship where it's like, you can't touch nothing over here. You can't make not an area decision because you're effing up the church's money. So she had to buy back her business. She made the move and getting all this money, she had to go from how she was set up or initially to then become a corporation. Now you have to have different checks and balances in place. These people want to be paid to be the chairperson and like all these people that's on the board and all these investors. The rules change. But these 2 years is where you can start to figure those things out. You can make projections for growth. The problem that I find with most craft businesses who are traditional ones in the sense of I'm creating a business around arts and crafts, not the ones who want to create revenue around focused talent. You're very focused in what you're doing. You're focused on your systems. You're focused on your client and customer acquisition. You're focused on your marketing and your branding. You're focused on your offers. Making revenue in that craft space is different than you just doing arts and crafts, because in those first couple of years, you're not figuring out systems. Some of y'all are like, oh, I've had all these things. Like, I've had printers, I've had paper, I've been doing this 5, 6, 7 years. You still don't have a website. I'm not saying that you have to have an e-commerce site, but you're still like, oh, I can't justify having a website. Whether it's an e-commerce site or just an informational site, you still like, I can't justify that. You haven't put any systems in place. You have no SOPs. You have no standard processes, no standard way of doing things. It is by the seat of your pants. It's fly by night. Every time you see a new creation or you see a new way of doing it, you latch on to that. You haven't figured out what works for you. How many of y'all are look, it may not be easy to hear, but let me know. Are you hearing in the things that I'm saying? Are you hearing where the holes are at in your business? Are you hearing where the holes are at in your side hustle? Where the bottlenecks are in your entrepreneurship journey? How many of you are self-identifying with the things that I am talking about? Who gonna be honest? Y'all know my platform is called Honestly Speaking. So if you come on this platform, you're going to listen to me for an hour. You got to be willing to be honest. If you're going to continue to lie to yourself, I need you to go ahead and unsubscribe, block me, exit stage, right, left, middle, center, jump off the stage. If you can't be honest with yourself, because over here we speak honestly. If the loud black lady intimidates you, you don't want to hear this. You don't want that negative energy that you call it negative energy in your life. Go ahead and block me. Block me, okay? Okay, so I do see a couple people that said yes. I see yes. I'm hearing where the holes are. Can you share with me one of the areas that you know is a hole in your business, is a hole in your operation, is a hole in your side hustle? Y'all see the title. Do you want to be offended or do you want to get better at creating revenue? Which one do you want? Which one are you choosing on this Friday the 13th? Today I'm being Crafty Kruger. Lack of systems, okay. This is helping me so much, latching on to new things I see. I definitely need a website. So what is that? Oh, Shakita. Hey girl, how you doing? So do you need a website or do you need an e-commerce site at this point in your business? What are we doing here? We are helping them get their craft life together. What do we mean by that? We are helping them. I'm gonna let this play for you. Create revenue around focused talent. This is what we are doing today. Okay. Let's see here. Latching on to new things I see, lack of business knowledge. Okay. All right, so let's go back over here. Where were we? So year 2, we went through year 3. Profitable businesses usually reach it faster when they start with high margin offers, keep fixed costs low, sell before scaling. Crafters don't know how to do that. I'm sorry. Y'all do not know how to do that. You really don't. You probably even really understand what that means. Sell before scaling. Avoid heavy inventory early. Y'all definitely don't understand that because the way y'all like to go out and buy everything somebody suggests to you. Y'all got so much money. If you were to go within your workspace, your creative space, your craft space, your workspace, your home office, whatever you decide to call it, and you look at the things that you purchased that you said you got it to make money on, how many years ago? What was if it could have an expiration date, like something in your refrigerator, something in your pantry, what would have been the expiration date on the things that you purchased that are in your workspace that have not given you a return on investment? Y'all purchase stuff every single day, every week, every month, where you have not seen a return on that. But the moment someone says, let me help you identify that, let me help you get clarity, and I don't, and this may not, it's going to be uncomfortable, but I want to help you help yourself. Understand where your capacity is, what your offer should be based off of what you can handle, based off of the information and knowledge that you have. But, I can't pay for that class because you're afraid that you're not going to make your return on your investment. But a lot of times that's on you, because the instructors will give you detailed outlines for you to reach that first, like that first milestone, but you're rejecting it. You're in too many programs where you're getting all this mixed information. It's one thing to maybe be in a program where like one person may not be going like a deep dive into AI, especially maybe let's say like video creation and how you can do those things. But then when it comes to like they're teaching you that part, they're teaching you nothing about business. So sometimes you might need to be in different programs for, okay, this is about business. This is about, AI. You may have a program, and even from the same company, this is our business program, but this is our program where you're going to learn to make these things effectively. The more things that you're in, that means that you also have to create time and space to consume that knowledge, to process that knowledge, to edit that knowledge, and then to implement the parts that you have edited down and have determined this is what I need to focus on today. This is what I need to focus on now. Yes, that was some good information, but I'm not there yet. You need to be connected to somebody who's going to tell you it's okay to be like, I'm not there yet. And they're not forcing you to move into a space that you're not ready for. They go and say, oh, you have, it's like they're pushing you out of your comfort zone. But sometimes it's pushing you off of a cliff. So someone says, you just hit that on the nose. And what does that mean? So selling before scaling is you need to just get it out there. Instead of focusing on the profit, you need to make sure it's something that people want, that it's sellable. So you're going to test the market with things. You're going to put it out there. When you are starting out, it's like on any job, a job that has training. Do you get paid the same amount when you're in training as when you become a full-time, like you're past the training phase, when you become that full-time employee, or even if it's a part-time gig, it's still different in what they pay you when you are in training and you are doing the job actively, right? There's a difference in that. It's no different in your business. You are starting out. It has to become a proven model. You have to prove that this is something that is sellable and scalable. So you need to focus on how do you get the sales? How do you acquire clients? So client acquisition, customer acquisition, branding, marketing, making sure that you are, if it's something where you're creating something by hand, you're creating it in the most effective way where someone is going to see the value of it and not just slapping a price tag on it. So you might start out and it might be someone just how I started. They might just own, like you might only charge them for the supplies, plus or minus, 10 to 20% for mistakes, wastage, things like that, like just in case, because we're not perfect. So it might be, okay, I want to try this out. I need to do this, whatever. So I'm giving of my time, but you need to still pay for the supplies. Hey, I'm going to make this. I'm going to take notes on this. I'm going to see what works, what doesn't work. Maybe the next time I will, you might try something else. And it's like, okay, let me try it this way consistently. Does this work? You're identifying where you need to make the changes at. And once you have locked that down, you now know how long it takes to truly make it. Once you become efficient in it, you know ways to kind of not say cut costs in a bad way, but make sure that you are buying low and selling high, the responsible way. And meaning you're buying your materials. It's not that you are like giving people subpar but want to charge a premium amount, but you are getting your items more cost effectively. You're not going to retail stores to get it because they're going to always charge you more in a retail situation than if you're buying something in bulk. My let's just say like my glue sticks, I buy a 10-pound box. And although I might pay more for that 10-pound box, those glue sticks last me a lot longer. I'm using a glue gun that is a high wattage, and I don't have all of this waste. I don't have strings hanging all over the place because I have better equipment. So you need to create those systems by selling before you scale. She says, OMG, I have a workspace full of equipment that I have no ROI yet. Shaking my head. You are not alone. They are here with you. Okay. You are not alone, boo. I promise you, you are not alone. Okay. All right. So, look, see, based on what you teach, I knew it was going to give a professor moment. Since you work with creatives turning skills into business, the realistic path you often see is skill-based income, designs, classes, services, product sales, or templates, courses, systems, and membership. That model can reach profitability faster than traditional businesses if structured well. One stat that you may find interesting for teaching your audience, roughly 60 to 70% of small businesses are profitable by year 3, but many owners pay themselves very little before that. So many of you are trying to figure out how you get paid a CEO salary, because y'all like to call yourselves CEO. So you want a CEO salary and you're trying to pay yourself on the front end. All right, so let's see over here. It says, on average, it takes new businesses 2 to 3 years to turn a profit. However, this profit can mean different things, and the timeline shift dramatically based on your industry and how much you have to spend upfront. The typical timeline, while 2 to 3 year window is the standard benchmark, here is how that usually breaks down by stages. Month 1 through 12, you are in survival mode. Y'all like to skip over that survival mode. Let's make this a little bit bigger. I said bigger. Wait a minute. Why are you not? Hold on. Pop out chat, but why are you not going bigger? I want you to be bigger. Let's go here. I don't know why you're not. Okay, there we go. So month 1 through 12 is survival. Most businesses lose money in their first year. Success here is often defined as just simply breaking even, where your monthly revenue finally covers your monthly bills. Month 12 through 36 is recovery. This period is spent paying back the startup debt. Some of y'all don't even know what your startup debt is because you haven't even calculated. You're just going with the flow. You don't even realize that you have startup debt. All the equipment and supplies and stuff that you purchase, that goes towards your business, but you haven't even been calculating it towards your business. So when there's literally a line about startup expenses when you're doing your taxes, even if you are not a tax professional, and you don't want to process your tax, anybody can go and create a Intuit account, and you can put your numbers in on TurboTax. You can put them in on, what's the other one? It used to be Tax USA or something. Now the numbers are not always great, and tax professionals sometimes can have different like resources, but at least you're kind of seeing that system and like that setup and some of the questions that they're asking you. This is going to help you with categorizing your expenses. We just talked about that last night. I have a full class where, like, in the program, where I break down all of the categories that come up when you're filling out your tax, when you're giving to your tax professional, how they want to see your books, how they want things to be categorized. If you're using QuickBooks, there are certain rules that are in place. So even though you have deposits and you have expenses, you want to, with that expense, you want to identify it as one of those categories and be able to put that in there. And the more you have these categories spread out, it's less likely that you're going to be audited, because they're going to see it as, okay, you're really conducting business. Your money that you're spending out that you don't want us to tax you on, they're spread across the typical things of business. But when people just go, yo, I just purchased all this stuff, you just have it under one thing, and you have no operational cost. There's a difference between your inventory and your operational cost. But these are things that you guys are not taught in business because you're not in a real business class. You have crafters teaching other crafters. They're showing you a craft because they're calling it a craft, instead of just focusing on teaching you a skill, instead of improving your talents in this area. They're teaching you a craft and say, oh, and I'm going to tell you how to make money with it. But they're just giving you this blanketed pricing structure and telling you to go make some content and do this, and this is how you'll get. But they're not teaching you about business because you're not in a business mentorship. Yes or yes, you need a business mentorship. Am I right or am I right? Am I right or am I not wrong? You need a business mentorship. Am I right or am I not wrong? You've had enough craft tutorials. You've had enough craft programs, mentorships, master classes, summits. You've had enough of that. Right now, you need real instruction on how to create revenue around all of this focused talent that you have acquired over all these years. Yes or yes? So year 3 and beyond is truly where, if you're doing things right, you can see the profits. Now, there are some businesses, things will happen and it will cause you to, to see some drops. Every business will experience that. Big business experience that. Why do you think they have these large layoffs? They have to recover. They're making money, but things will happen and they have to kind of recoup those things somewhere so that they don't completely go under. Yes, it sucks that people lose their job, but in order to make sure that business does not completely crumble, certain decisions have to be made. Okay? So, we go back. Most businesses lose money in their first year. Success here. Okay, I read that one. So recovery, this period is spent paying back the startup costs. I read that one. And then profitability, once initial costs are recouped and revenue is steady, the business begins to generate true profit that can be taken home by the owner or reinvested for growth. So let's see here. They say professional services consulting 1 to 6 months, low overhead. This mirrors what we saw over in ChatGPT, right? So service business 3 to 12 months. Here they say 0 to 6. Digital and e-commerce 6 to 12 months. So here 6 months to 2 years. Retail and restaurants 2 to 4 years, and here brick and mortar, they say, mine says 3 to 5 years. Well, I guess retail and restaurant, yeah, and then manufacturing and SaaS 3 to 5 years. Business distinctions, Operating profit, true profitability. So there's a couple things here. I will copy and paste this in a way where you can really put this in there yourself. I don't even have to copy and paste. There are some things when you know what to ask AI or LLMs learn large learning modules. So ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, all the, and when you know the things to ask them, you don't have to pay for an ebook to get this information. You just need to know what to put in. And all I put in to this was, on average, how long does it take new businesses to turn a profit? The problem is you guys are so afraid to ask questions. The simple questions, the basic questions, ask them. You now have this information. Now you may need someone to break down. So there were certain things in here. And I said, do you truly understand what they mean by sell before you scale? You may need someone to break that down, or you can even ask it. What does sell before scale mean? And it'll give you an answer. But see, y'all are focused on using AI to generate images. You are so right. I need business mentorship. So I'm telling y'all. Now, my answer came before the chat GPT. Prove that people actually pay for what you are offering before you invest the extra time, money, inventory, staff, or systems to grow it. In other words, revenue validation first, expansion second. Is that not what I just said? My answer wasn't a chat GPT answer because I know business, so I know these things. Simple answer. Wrong. This is the wrong order. Build a website, buy inventory, design packaging, create 50 products, launch. Then they find out nobody wants this ish. Ain't nobody paying $100 for some phone board. The price is wrong because you ask somebody in Los Angeles, California, how much they charge, and you are in the middle of Wisconsin. It don't line up. It don't match up. The offer is unclear. You aren't even clear about what the hell you selling. You don't even understand that you don't have a product, that you are offering a service. Oh, that is one of the number one things. We went over that in pricing for profit. Some of y'all are operating like you are selling a product. No, you're selling a service. That changes the game. That changes how you market. That changes how you price. I sell a product. I sell products. I have sublimation paper. I have sublimation ink. We have heat tape. These are products. When I'm selling a shirt, when I go and let me show you, let me see, where is it? Right here. I just did some custom ribbons. These are not products to me. I provided a service to design, print, press, and finish ribbons that they'll complete the process as far as forming them together. Don't mind all of this other stuff because I have to go and change it. But I provided a service to design, print, press, and finish. I don't consider this to be a product. Sell before you scale operators approach. Test the offer. Make the sales first. Deliver manually. Improve based on feedback. Then scale your systems, automation, or inventory. Examples in your world: creative business. You already know me. Even my chat GPT nothing to call this ish no craft business. Let's say someone wants to sell custom party favors. Scaling first would look like buy a $1,200 printer, buying $500 in material, creating or buying 20 designs or templates, building a website. How many of you did that? How many of you saw it? You brought the printer, you went and brought supplies such as paper and ink and glue and cardstock. You brought all of the little beads to make them a shaker. You brought what else? What am I missing? You brought the acetate. You got the scissors. You got the this. How many of you? This is where you were at. You brought the, well, maybe not $1,200, but y'all brought like the $300 printer, the $700 printer, the $800 printer. You got the materials, you got the sublimation blanks, you got the this, you got the that. You purchased all of these templates. Oh, they're just $1. You turn around and you don't spend $100 on templates. And you're asking them these questions. You just started. Hey, how do I build me a website? Well, I'm gonna say an e-commerce site. But even a website, sometimes you don't need that. Social media can, if you do it the right way. But how do I build me a website? How do I build an e-commerce site? That's the first thing that you're going to. Oh, none of y'all fall into this. Oh, so the wrong people watching this live, huh? Y'all all got it together. Oh, okay, my bad. I know I was. Oh, I guess I should have stopped a long time ago because I'm talking to the wrong people. I've been on here for an hour and 30 minutes talking to the wrong people. Oh, okay, cool. Sell before you scale would look like post 3 sample designs, take 5 paid orders, fulfill them manually, then decide if it's worth scaling. Why operators do this? Because ideas feel good, but sales tell the truth. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Did my chat just pop y'all hand? Did my chat just pop y'all hand? The ideas feel good, but the sales tell the truth. Ooh, ooh. My chat being real disrespectful. Damn, you ain't have to say it like that's real disrespectful, chat. Golly. Selling first answers key questions. Will people buy this? What price works? What problems appear in fulfillment? Ooh, Jesus. That right there, number 3 can preach. Is the demand real? Ooh. Or did you just get compliments? Y'all had one. Oh my God, this is so nice. You should sell this. You immediately go into, all right, boom, I'm finna, boy, this ain't my $1 million idea. Because you got a few compliments. You got some compliments. There was no real demand. You got some compliments. And you ready to be off to the races. So then it tells me a line that I can use when I'm teaching. You might say something like, compliments don't scale a business, sales do. So sell it first, then scale it. Now, when y'all see this, because it ain't that many people watching it. So when y'all see this pop up on my social media feed, mind your business, just go ahead and like it and say, oh, that's good, Professor, and keep it moving, Shawty, okay? But know that I said this, but chat has a way of framing things where it just comes off more professionally, even though like I might be a little rough around the edges when I say it. Chat smooths it out. Or validation comes from transactions, not opinions. Okay, I don't like that one. I like this one better. I don't this one, that one too. You ain't gonna see that one you're not gonna see that one on my social media. I don't like that one. The real reason this matters, get off the way. Dang it, ask chat. The reason this matters for creatives, many creatives do the opposite. They perfect the product before providing the demand. That's why people end up with boxes of unsold inventory. Ooh, chat telling y'all business. Courses nobody buys, chat telling y'all business, websites with no traffic. Ooh, chat telling y'all business. Ooh, chat telling y'all business. Ooh, it's telling y'all business. Now, this whole time, there has been a QR code. Now, what you can do, if you did not, I'm going to teach y'all, I'm going to learn you something new today as well. If you did not know, if you are watching this from your phone, you can take, or your mobile device, you can take a screenshot right now. Once you take that screenshot on your phone, if you press and hold that QR code, it is going to take you to our creative business program page. And this is for business mentorship. There are a couple of different ways that you can enroll if you want to just try it out. No, no real investment. If you remember to cancel it before the next month start, you can go. If you sign up today, you will have 4 weeks with me to help you before that month runs out. We meet every Thursday, just missed a session, at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. We met yesterday at 8 because I had to do some things before. So every single week, and that's going to change to where it's going to become 2 times per week pretty soon here. So if you end up enrolling in this and you just want to, because it's going to be the lowest startup cost, like to be able to really get in it, is $43.65. But you just have to remember to cancel it before your automatic payment like basically kicks in. Okay. So this is what you can do. You can get 4 weeks, but in that 4 weeks, even though we will only meet one, and by the time we get to the end, maybe twice a week live for you to ask questions, guess what? That $43.65 gives you access to all of the trainings that have already taken place for the past 2 sessions, the past 3 years, really. So if you're like, yo, I want to get, look, I have to binge watch this. I'm not watching no Netflix. I'm not watching no Amazon Prime. I'm not watching no Peacock. I'm not watching whatever comes on YouTube TV. I'm not watching anything on my Xfinity, on my Cox, whatever internet you have, Direct TV. I'm not watching any of that. I'm about every minute that I have where I'm not working on my business and side hustle, I am going to consume these classes. I'm going to get me a brand new notebook, maybe 2, so where this notebook is filled with this information. Because once this class is over and done with, once this month is over with, right now, I don't have the money. I'm going to consume all this information. I'm going to implement it. I'm going to make my $43.65 back, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to sign up where I can get this all the time. Okay. So you can do $43.65. That will be your first month's payment. If you don't cancel it, baby, we will be charging you $53.65 every month thereafter until you decide to cancel. There's no commitment. You can cancel at any time. You just lose access to the information that was in there. Now, there are some things that you will get to keep. Even after the month, there's a way that you get to keep certain things so that you can have them for reference. But for the most part, you will lose access to all the good stuff. Okay. And the continued training. You can choose to sign up for a buy now, pay later option. So it's a one-time payment. You're going to get access for a year, and you can use Klarna, Afterpay, or Affirm, whichever ones you qualify for, because it'll be on there. You go in there and see which one you qualify for. If you've ever used any of those before, you'll have a higher probability of being, qualifying for it. And they're going to break this down into however many payments they see fit for this amount. So you would have to choose that if you want to use buy now, pay later, but you're going to be locked in for 1 year of mentorship and training. And I promise you, if you're doing the work, you're going to see a return on your investment. Okay. If you have it on in your debit account, in your bank account, you got it on a credit card, you want to do the one time, you're going to get more bang for your buck. This is the most cost-effective way. $593.65. That's going to give you 1 year of access to this information where you don't have to feel rushed. You can work on selling before you scale and get all the information that you need, get all of the resources that you need, get all of your systems in place over the course of this first year, like that 1 year in it. Get all of those things in place so that you are profitable, where your profitability starts at the end of that first year or your first reset year. If you've already been doing it and you're not making any money, you have nothing to lose. You're going to sign up so that your profitability can start within that first year. You're going to start to see more profits. You're going to have better systems to help you. Okay. Or you can do month to month. Hey, I don't want to have to remember to cancel this. I want to try it out. 63.65. You'll have access for 31 days. And after that, you don't have to think about it. You don't have no commitment. It is up to you on whether or not you want to renew that. With that 63.65, you can also break that up. So if you want to try it for a month, but you need to, like, that one is still, if you want to use buy now, pay later, it still gives you those options to use PayPal, to use Cash App, to use Klarna, to use Afterpay, to use Affirm with the 63.65. Okay. Wait, someone says, oh, it's not showing it. My bad. I didn't realize. There it goes. I have 3 windows. I don't know why that one wasn't showing. There's a QR code there if you need to screenshot it to be able to come back to it later. I'm going to drop the link in the chat as well. But if you want to take a screenshot of this, because it's also showing the prices. So take a screenshot. It should be right up in here. And then you'll be able to press and hold that and then go back to it whenever, you have time to go ahead and sign up. Thank you for letting me know that that wasn't showing up. You told my chat to stop stepping on your toes. No, look, I didn't step on your toes, okay? Chat GPT did. And I don't name mine because it's not human. I'm not them folk that be naming my chat. That thing is called Chat GPT, Open AI. I do not name mine because it's not human. So chat stepped on your toes. I did nothing. All I did was read to you what chat said. Now, chat may have made their response based off of how I talked to it, but it wasn't me. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Okay. Man, okay. So let's see. I think I did see some questions. I have about 10 minutes. I might as well just finish out this 10 minutes. I got to go pick up my niece, well, my little cousin. I still call her my niece, from school. So let's see. What questions can I answer? I saw a few. So let's see. I thought I saw a few questions on here. Someone says, I want them to be B to EU. That's some hello. Okay, end user. All right. Let's see. How do you get past customers trying to make you feel guilty for not sharing? How do you get past that? You are going to have to build up your I don't give up muscle. I'm being so serious. It is going to seem pretty harsh. If you are naturally a caring and giving person, that is going to feel very icky and people making it seem like you're trying to take advantage of them. But if you know what your intentions are, you have to just brush your shoulders off. You have to just ignore that. And that does take practice. You have to practice ignoring it and not letting it affect you. Over time, it will get easier and easier and easier. There is no cheat code to getting over that because we're human, especially if you are a human that moves with your heart versus your head. It can, when now you have to process in your head, it just seems like, oh my God, I can't believe they're talking about me. But you just have to be okay with it. Don't address it. Don't feel like every negative thing you have to address. unless you're like me and you're monetized and you welcome negative, or, let's say, I'm gonna say negative, you welcome opposition to your point, and you were the debate captain at Barbara Goldman Senior High School in the 90s, and you like a little tussle because that helps your engagement, that helps you make revenue via these social media platforms. I don't give a darn if it's 50 cents. Baby, I got paid 50 cents to go back and forth with you on my platform. So if you are like that, and you are not worried that it might hurt your business, because some like, oh, don't do that, that's gonna hurt. My mom would tell me that all the time. Lady, they still sign up for these classes, they still buy this paper, so I'm not worried about it, because it resonates with some people. Like, there are people that think like me, mother. So you can choose to go back and forth, or you can simply ignore it. I don't delete stuff unless you get completely out of pocket. Baby, I'm not deleting nothing off of it, okay? Because that helps my analytics. So I don't always run to it, but I'm not going to run from it. I'm not going to hide from it. That is going to be my professional advice on how to approach that when someone comes at you and tries to make you feel guilty for not sharing. I just don't give two flying F's. I'm just being serious. I'm being honest. Okay. Let's see. If you have a question, drop it, because I have about she starts school at 1:50. I normally leave here at like 1:45. So you got a couple of seconds, couple of minutes to get your questions in. Okay. Um, okay, so going back to this one, I don't know where to start. So I do DTF, summation, paint, draw, where you're doing a whole lot of. Some of those things need to be placed back into the passion project file. They need to be for personal fulfillment until you figure out proper systems. You know how to do them, but you have to figure out a way to implement systems. Your systems need to be figured out with a few things. So you are going to have, it's going to be hard, but you have to think about the success that you want. What type of business do you want? In order to get there, what is going to eventually be scalable? What are the things that you're not going to be scared about putting a price on? What is your capacity for marketing all of these things? Because painting and drawing, unless you are painting and drawing something that you are going to make it digital so that you can then print that out for summation and DTF. So you're not doing custom. You are someone that is going to paint it. You're going to either you know how to take professional pictures the proper way where you can turn that into a digital asset, or you're going to hire someone, you're going to outsource, you're going to book someone, a professional photographer, to come in who has the right lighting, and they know the right way to do it. They know how to edit it and pull out the background and things of that nature. You may need to learn how to, like, if this is something that I want to be able to resell, you may need to change medium that you print, that you paint on, that you draw on. Maybe you need to make that as on a green background, and make sure that you don't have green inside of your design, because there is a background remover in, like, it's not just your general one, but there's a certain way that it's going to pull out those colors when you're using that brush, if you're using Photoshop. Or you may need to make your base or draw, like, paint around it, and that needs to be black because you don't have any black in the design. And so there are certain things that you need to know when you are creating your designs, if you want to turn them into digital assets that you then apply to shirts, so you're not doing custom work. But now, if you're going and you're creating custom designs for every single person, that's a little bit different. But you can mix the drawing first and the painting into your summation DTF if you're going to turn that into a product line. You're going to turn that into a merch line. That would be different. Now, the resin, that might be a little bit different. That might need to be more so hobby at this time. A little AI art, what are you doing with this? So once you determine what you're going to do with all of these amazing talents that you have, How are you going to find focus and clarity in all of these amazing talents that you have? From all of these amazing talents that you have, how are you going to create revenue around it? What is is revenuable ish is not a word, but what truly can sell? So you have to slow it down and figure that part out. Once most crafters get into business, the fear of slowing down creeps in, and you don't want to slow down to move faster. Sometimes you got to let go of the things that are weighing you down. When it's a bad, it's going to be a bad example, but it's a good example. When there's issues on a plane, if they have to make an emergency landing or something's happening, one of the first things they do is they dump the fuel. One, because of the weight. Two, if they have to hit the ground, you don't want that to cause this explosion. So they try to dump that fuel. So they have to release certain things to have a higher probability of having a safe landing. Sometimes you got to dump the excess. Okay? You have to let go of that and be okay with letting go of that in order to arrive, as safely as you possibly can. Yes, you might, like when on the plane, they need that fuel to get from point A to point B to get to their destination. But if something happens, that fuel on that plane means nothing if we're about to go down. There's some other things happening where I'm not going to make it to that destination anyway. So I need to sacrifice this fuel to give me a better chance of survival. Are you willing to drop the fuel? Put it in the chat. If you know that you need to drop some fuel, put it in the chat. Drop fuel. Whether you join my mentorship or not, you should operate from, I need to figure out what fuel I need to dump. What do I need to dump to survive? Because right now, it's going down, baby. It's going down. All right. Well, that is my time. Let me make sure. I don't think I saw any other questions. I think that was it. She says drop fuel is needed. Drop that fuel. There we go. All right. So I don't see any other questions. I look forward to seeing you guys next week, Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will tell you on the 26th, we are going over taxes. We talked about capacity and offers. We're going to go through a little bit more of that and then next week. The discussion was talking about systems. So we're going to go through just understanding the systems and things that you really need to know when it comes to business. We're going to talk about a little bit of taxes. Again, you can watch all of the other trainings. We went through this amazing framework for understanding how, like, the consumer mindset, the consumer behavior and customer behavior, or those who are like making purchases. So you can go and watch all those things. It is going to bless you. You can, even though we're going to go over again about setting up your social medias and implementing certain strategies to help you. We went over that last semester, so you'll be able to watch those, and that might help you get some questions for when your session starts live. There's so much information in there. So even if you sign up for a month, you are going to walk away just so much more equipped. You are going to walk away with so much more confidence in your entrepreneurship journey. So join me sign up, join me next week if you are ready to craft with me. And that means to create revenue around focused talent. Okay. Debbie says, you did fantastic. Thank you so much for that, Debbie. This is so helpful. I appreciate this. You are very welcome, Alicia. And I will see you guys hopefully next week. But I probably will go live because I really want to talk about some Canva stuff. So after I pick up little people, because today is Friday, which means I have to get Samara, I have to go get Zani, and I have to go get MJ, and I might as well not go live because then at 3:05 I got to go pick up Zani Mani. So somewhere around like 3:30ish, 4 o'clock, I will probably be live again talking about Canva specifically and going over like if y'all know, I don't know if y'all know this, like this was done in Canva. Y'all see like the little motion things, you can use this for your business. If you saw the one that I did here and being able to create promotional flyers and without having all the extra stuff, how you can do that for your business. Again, don't mind all this other stuff because I haven't changed it yet, but if you want to kind of just see how to navigate Canva, because we do have a program for that, I'm going to put that on the screen just in case you want to screenshot this one. Let me go to, just so that you know what you are screenshotting. Let's go to all courses and then let's go here. Okay, so I'm going to change the QR code on this. So if you want to take, now you can take the screenshot. So if you want to take a screenshot because the QR code has changed at the top and you are interested in taking our Canva training, go ahead, screenshot this, press and hold the QR code once you have screenshotted it, and then you can go and see the price breakdown for learning Canva. Okay. All right, y'all. Until next time, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity and be incredible. Peace.